The 2025 Ferrari Purosangue is not just a vehicle, it is a declaration of intent, a bold message to the automotive world that Ferrari can take a new form without losing the soul that defines it. The moment you lay your eyes on it, something inside you stills, as if your senses try to align themselves with what they're witnessing. The Purosangue does not arrive quietly. Even standing still, it creates an aura around itself, the same way a star changes the energy of the entire room simply by being present. You don't observe it, you feel it. The deep Rosso Casa paint, polished to a mirror-like perfection, captures every light, every shadow, every reflection, turning the entire showroom into a living canvas where this machine is the central piece of art. It stands tall yet low, wide yet sculpted, powerful yet graceful, embodying the contradiction Ferrari has mastered for decades. As you approach the front, the hood lines draw you in, sculpted like the muscles of a thoroughbred horse ready to launch into full sprint. The LED matrix headlights stare forward with a focused intensity, like eyes trained on the horizon. There's a calm aggression in its stance, the kind that doesn't scream for attention but effortlessly commands it. The front grille pulls in air with purpose, every cut and every vent serving a functional role while simultaneously adding to the artistic complexity of the design. You begin to understand that the Purosangue wasn't merely engineered, it was shaped by passion, guided by obsession, perfected by tradition. Move to the side, and the story shifts from raw aggression to elegant athleticism. The flowing roofline arcs with uninterrupted precision, ending in a subtle slope that keeps the SUV silhouette from ever feeling bulky. The frameless doors, flush handles, carbon fiber skirts, and sculpted mirrors all work together to maintain a sense of motion even when the car is absolutely still. The massive wheels, wrapped in performance rubber and clamping onto carbon ceramic brakes, add an element of seriousness, like a sprinter wearing specialized shoes before taking off. The stance is confident, balanced, almost predatory. It does not suggest movement, it promises it. Then you reach the rear, where a completely different personality emerges. Slim, razor-sharp LED tail lights stretch across the body, glowing with a deep red signature that instantly identifies it as a Ferrari even in complete darkness. The quad exhaust tips sit aggressively beneath a sculpted diffuser that looks ready to channel air at speeds unimaginable for an SUV. Carbon fiber panels, sharp creases, and wide hips give the rear a dramatic presence. You can almost feel the rumble of the V12 even if the engine is off. There is tension in the design, like stored energy waiting for a signal to explode into motion. Step inside, and the narrative changes again. You are no longer looking at a machine, you are stepping into an experience. The cabin of the Purosangue is where Ferrari blends luxury with motorsport DNA. The front seats embrace you like a high-performance cockpit, sculpted from premium leather with immaculate stitching. The dashboard curves around you, wrapping the driver and passenger in a world crafted from carbon fiber, aluminum, leather, and technology. The dual digital displays come to life with crisp animations, showing performance data, navigation, and vehicle dynamics with the clarity of a fighter jet HUD. Even the ambient lighting is deliberate, soft, warm, cinematic. The steering wheel feels like an extension of your own hands. Manettino switches, bright LEDs, and premium touch surfaces remind you that this is a real Ferrari, not merely an SUV wearing a badge. Every button has weight, every control has a satisfying click. You don't simply sit in this vehicle, you become part of it. Move to the rear seats, and you encounter another identity. Instead of the traditional bench, the Purosangue offers two luxury bucket seats separated by a central console. The stitching, the cushioning, the cooling and heating features, the hidden storage, the ambient light strips, the panoramic roof above your head, everything contributes to a first-class experience. For the first time, Ferrari has built a vehicle where each passenger receives the same attention, the same craftsmanship, the same sense of belonging to something extraordinary. But the true heart of this creation lies beneath the hood. Ferrari's 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 engine is one of the last pure-blood powerplants in the world. No turbocharging, no electric trickery to fake emotion. Just raw, living mechanical performance. This engine breathes, it roars, it sings, and it defines the Purosangue's soul more than any design element ever could. When you start the engine, the deep bass of the idle note travels through the chassis and into your chest. As the revs climb, the sound evolves into a rising symphony, Sharp, high, emotional, unmistakably Ferrari. It's a sound that doesn't just reach your ears, it reaches your memory, your emotion, your imagination. Pop the hood, and the engineering is displayed like a gallery masterpiece. The red cylinder heads, the carbon fiber coverings, the metallic pipes, the precision of the wiring, the symmetry of the components, everything looks intentional. Nothing seems placed by chance. The workshop lights reflect off the polished metal, casting thin highlights across the engine bay like an artist's brush strokes. A mechanic examining the engine appears not as a technician but as a curator analyzing an invaluable sculpture. The Purosangue's V12 is not merely a power unit, it is a piece of mechanical art. Back in the showroom, the presence of the Purosangue transforms the space. The polished marble floor reflects its silhouette, the overhead lights trace its curves, and the faint outlines of other Ferrari models in the background create a sense of heritage. Yet the Purosangue stands apart, not because it is different, but because it expands what Ferrari can be without breaking what Ferrari is. It is boldness wrapped in elegance. It is tradition wrapped in innovation. The identity of Ferrari remains untouched, only the expression has changed. Walk around it slowly, and you notice the micro details, the weave of the carbon fiber, the etching on the aluminum controls, the flawless stitching along the dashboard, the clarity of the headlight lenses, the sculpted lines around the wheel arches, the subtle Ferrari logos hidden in unexpected places. These are the elements that turn a vehicle into a masterpiece. These are the things that make the Purosangue feel crafted rather than manufactured. Imagine the golden hour sun setting outside. The soft, warm light hits the Rosso Casa paint, and suddenly the car seems alive. The shadows deepen, the highlights stretch, and the reflections glide across the surface like moving water. Every curve transforms under the golden light, creating a visual experience that no camera can fully capture. The Purosangue at sunset is an emotional moment, not just a visual one. And then imagine nightfall. The showroom lights dim, the spotlights above focus in, and the Purosangue stands like a cinematic icon ready for its close-up. The contrast between the glowing tail lights, the reflections on the polished floor, the illuminated cabin through the windows, and the deep shadows around the wheels gives the vehicle an almost supernatural presence. It feels like a movie scene paused at the perfect moment. But a Ferrari is not truly understood until it moves. Picture the Purosangue accelerating onto an open Italian road. The V12 roars to life, the wheels grip, and the entire world around you blurs. Yet the cabin remains calm, balanced, intentional. The steering is precise, the chassis composed, the suspension firm yet forgiving. You feel the speed, but you also feel control. It is the balance that defines Ferrari. Emotion without chaos, power without harshness, elegance without fragility. The more time you spend with the Purosangue, the more you realize that it is a culmination of decades of Ferrari philosophy. It is a reminder that performance is not limited by shape. It is a statement that luxury can coexist with adrenaline. It is evidence that craftsmanship can still exist in a world that often prioritizes speed over soul. This vehicle captures all of that and delivers it with confidence. The Purosangue does not cheat to earn emotion. It does not rely on artificial assistance. It does not pretend to be something it's not. It carries its identity proudly. It stands as a pure expression of Ferrari design, Ferrari engineering, Ferrari experience. And that is why the name, Purosangue, meaning pure blood, fits it perfectly. In the end, this is more than an SUV. It is more than a supercar. It is a Ferrari that rewrites its own chapter without erasing a single line of history. It is the physical form of passion. It is the sound of tradition. It is the shape of power. It is the symbol of evolution. And above all, it is a reminder that no matter how much the world changes, some things remain eternal. The roar of a V12, the beauty of pure design, and the unmatched presence of a Ferrari.